What is up, y'all? It's your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick video. Christine, John Carpenter, 1983, 1957 Plymouth Fury, Keith Gordon. It's a classic. I'm a John Carpenter stan, but for some reason this was one of his movies that I don't really revisit that much, unlike Escape from New York and The Thing and, movies like that, which I watch on a regular basis. But Christine, I kind of put that, in the category of Ghosts of Mars. And don't get me wrong, no matter even the crappiest John Carpenter movie, I still think it's better than 98% of what anything else out there or what anybody else does. I'm a John Carpenter stan, even more of a stan of his than I am of Tarantino. By the way, there's a box fan on. I'm not shutting it off. But Christine, just for some reason, it was just popping in my head. I don't know what sparked it. Then I saw it was on Netflix, I think. And then I decided to watch it. And I forgot how good it was. It's crazy because at the time, when you do your research, it wasn't received well. And this is the first movie he did after The Thing, which also wasn't received well. So I don't know what it is about John Carpenter that he was just so ahead of his time that it takes people 15 years or longer to see the genius in what he does and to fully appreciate it, which is a shame because maybe if they did that a little sooner, he wouldn't just sit at home and chain smoke cigarettes and play video games. John, if you just fall down a YouTube rabbit hole and you accidentally watch this, please do something. Nowadays, whenever a new iPhone comes out, the commercial is always a mini movie that's filmed by some director that's using whatever the new iPhone is. If they can do that, please, for the love of God, give us something. Please, I know you've already put your work in. You don't have anything else to prove. You're one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest in my eyes. You've influenced numerous people. Tarantino is a poor man's John Carpenter. If you don't know what I'm talking about, he would take ideas from, previous directors that he looked up to, but not just one idea. He would take ideas from all of them and then just put them together to create a masterpiece. But you could see what he took from each director, and that's what Tarantino does. But Carpenter was doing it before him. Carpenter was casting actors that, they were blacklisted or their careers were just on the downslide. But he would bring them back and let people rediscover of why they were popular and cast in things and were a star in the first place. Carpenter was the first to do that. Also, one thing that Tarantino can't do is John Carpenter performed the music for almost all of his movies except for The Thing, I think, which he had Morricone do it, which also Tarantino did for The Hateful Eight. So without John Carpenter, you wouldn't have Quentin Tarantino, flat out, point blank, period. But I forgot what I was going to say before I went on that rant. But I always put Christine kind of on the level of Ghosts of Mars. Movies that I liked for what it was, and I wouldn't like if anybody else besides John Carpenter would have did it. But, I just don't go back to it, often, like, Escape from New York and The Thing and all that kind of stuff. But watching it, it's definitely going to be on my regular yearly rotation. It definitely is, because after not watching it for a long time and then watching it again, I want to watch it again and just pick through it. When you're like, a movie nerd, a movie addict, you rewatch movies for different things. You watch it the first time for the story, for the music and everything. The second time, you want to look at certain specific things. The third time, you want to watch it because you went to Google or you went and got a book, of the making of that particular movie, and you want to watch those scenes because now you know how they were done. I do that a lot with Carpenter, a lot. I watch a lot of John Carpenter behind the scenes, listen to him on podcasts and interviews, everything. So his movies have so much rewatchability to me, and this is one of them. Also, now I want a 57 Plymouth Fury. I can't believe that wasn't like a popular car. They said that's why Carpenter picked it, because all the other cars of that time, they had been put on Front Street. They were featured in TV shows, movies, etc. For some reason, the Plymouth Fury just wasn't, it didn't get its shine, and he wanted to get its shine. I mean, Stephen King. But did I say Stephen King or Carpenter? Who knows? Only two people watch these videos, anyways. But I mean, but that's just another cool thing. It's that it's not, a '57 Chevy. It's not a Corvette. It's not a Mustang. It's just everything that John Carpenter does is cool. Everything. That's why it's a shame that we have a Michael Jordan level talent that just is sitting the game out. And I mean, I understand why, especially in today's climate. John Carpenter is a guy. He's a man. He's going to want to have those sensibilities in his movies, and the way the atmosphere is now for everything. You can't do it. Even though it's disappearing, it's not disappearing fast enough for me. And it needs to disappear sooner, just for the sake of not only our sanity, but movies and entertainment in general. Not having all this woke stuff, not having all this, a subliminal brainwashing and everything. So hopefully that disappears soon, then we can get John Carpenter back in the game, I'm telling you. But Christine, let's get into the story real quick. I guess I've never read the book, but in the movie, the car, the car is being made, it's on the assembly line, and then it just becomes possessed for some reason. So, yes, it's a killer car movie. Not as corny as it sounds, or not as corny as what you think it would be. But again, we're talking about John Carpenter. Him and Tarantino are the only two people that could take, a dumb subject and make a movie out of it and make it so interesting that, you're all in, you're locked in on this. And hence, the haunted car movie. Who else can make a great haunted car movie except for Carpenter? Nobody. I don't even think Tarantino would be able to pull it off. I mean, he pulled off Death Proof. That wasn't a haunted car. Only Carpenter. But so the car ends up pretty much just killing the owners. I mean, you can kind of tell, they don't show it, but you hear people talking about it. This guy ends up selling the car to this high school nerd. I think his name is Artie. But the car is all trashed. He's asking him why. He was like, why are you selling this car? He was like, oh, because, it was my brother's car. He killed himself inside this car. It's set in 1979. Yes, this review is all over the place. But let me do me, and you can do you. Pause. I don't know if that's pause worthy, but I'm pausing it. So this nerd gets this 57 Plymouth Fury. It is trashed. It is garbage. It is ready to hit the junk pile. But he goes to this garage. This guy lets him park it in the garage and rummage through his junkyard to fix this car up. And he slowly fixes his car. But as he's fixing this car up, he starts to gain confidence, because in school he's getting picked on. He's getting terrorized. He has one friend that's kind of like a semi-popular jock that sticks up for him. But besides that, he has no friends. He gets no girls. He's just a nerd, His parents are very overbearing. But the more he starts spending time with Christine, which is the car, as you probably already figured, as he spends more time with Christine, it looks like he's gaining confidence, but really he's being possessed by this car. So it's not really confidence as much as it is him just turning evil. And that kind of confidence that comes with being, supreme evil. I mean, look at every great villain, Lex Luthor, Darth Vader. They all have a confidence, a swag to them that goes along with the territory. And he just starts getting revenge on everybody that caused him harm, that slighted him. His parents get terrorized. People that picked on him in school get brutally murdered by him in the car. It's just a great movie. And really, I don't have to explain anymore. All I have to say is 1980s John Carpenter, period. That should be enough for you. If that's not enough for you, then you don't need to be watching John Carpenter movies. But Christine, they got it on Netflix. Even if you don't pay for Netflix, somehow you have a Netflix code. I don't think they've enforced that Netflix rule of not sharing the password, because I've had several different people's passwords. Several. For not only Netflix, but for Disney Plus, Hulu, all this other stuff. But for Netflix, I have like 3 different passwords from 3 different people. And I can still watch it. It hasn't been cut off. So I know you have at least one Netflix password. Come on, stop. So check out Christine. There's no reason not to. What, you don't like good movies? Are you one of those people that likes to watch The Room? Sit around with a bunch of cornballs drinking craft beer, talking about hiking, and then saying, hey, let's watch The Room again. Let's watch a terrible movie and laugh at it. Nah, this ain't for you, because you're a lame. This is for people that know better, okay? John Carpenter. Christine. Watch it. 0 to 10 dog bone rating? 10. What? More than 10. A million. It's John Carpenter. John, I'm dead serious. John, look at me. Come back. We need you. Seriously. It's your boy Winston Wolf. I'm out.